Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are here with My Bumps Have a Purpose with Dr. Mel. Today, I have an awesome topic for you. I'm real excited about this one too because the person that I have to here to interview is one person that is really near and dear to me. So, I want to introduce you to my friend, my co worker, my co pastor. I don't know what else to call you. Tell you the truth, my father, I don't know. I'm not sure what it is, but this is Dr. Charles Kent. Doc, I am so honored to be sitting here with you.
It's a pleasure to be here and to join in with
Yeah.
this with your program. It's so
Yes, yes, yes.
exciting to see you take this next level and this next step.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
And he says it's fascinating. However, here's the issue. The issue is he forced me into this, but I'm actually really glad that he did, because it is something that I had to do. It was part of what my purpose is, and we're going to talk about a little bit of that about purpose today too. But I want to tell you a little bit about Dr. Charles Ken and how we really met.
Oh wow!
I met Dr. Ken on an adventure that we were doing for the kingdom of God. And we all kind of came together with like minds and like attitudes about what we wanted to do to help people. So I met him in the airport. You
Yes,
remember that? I met you in the
yes,
airport.
yes.
Didn't I talked to you on the phone for quite some time, but I met him in the airport. So me and my husband were on our way to a flight. We were on our way to Florida for this meeting down here to get really bonded with like people. And so I immediately spotted him because I said, that's that man right there that we're supposed to meet. He had on his trench coat. And the trench coat was kind of interesting. I
Yes,
still chuckle
faithful.
about that. It was,
It's
you
my
were faithful.
faithful trench
It
coat.
was your faithful trench coat. And so that's how we met, though. But we have been there together for quite some time. The good thing about it, though, Doc, there was a purpose for it.
Yes,
There was a
yes.
reason us meeting. It was a humanitarian effort that brought us together, but it was a reason for us meeting because now we're doing more stuff
Yes,
together. And
yes.
you have mentored me quite some time, and I really appreciate it. My husband appreciates it. I'm sure you're going to tell us a couple of stories that really will throw us off a little bit, but that's okay. I think I know what he's going to say, but we're going to let him do it anyway. But how did the birth of the acronyms happen first? You wrote a book,
This
and,
is
and, and I
the
helped,
book.
yeah, I helped you
Yes,
with that one.
yes, you did. It was painful, but
It was painful.
yeah, the Dr. Mill is really, really responsible for the formatting and the forward of this particular book. And the
Yes.
way this started is that when I first became a Christian, I had this download just bombarding me of insights
Yes.
and information, and it was all new, and so I was just hungry for truth,
Yes. Yes.
and
Yes.
I prayed and I said, Lord, please help me to
Mm.
remember what it is that you're giving me, because I didn't want to lose it. When you come out of darkness into the light, you reverence that.
You do.
You reverence that, and it's like, coming from the city, I never thought I could be deceived. I didn't think that
I can't believe you didn't think that. You're
I,
from Chicago.
I didn't think that you could hoodwink me,
Oh,
or
okay. I see what you're saying.
I
Yeah,
didn't
you
think
thought that you could not be hoodwinked.
right,
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
right,
But
and so um, when I came to the knowledge of the truth, when I got saved and born again, I realized that I had been deceived a long time.
oh, I figured that out later on too.
I
Yeah,
said
like
I've been
that's not in the Bible, right?
my whole thinking was just messed up,
Yeah.
and I was like shocked. And so when the truth became clear to me, I was anxious to hold on to it. It was like a crash course.
Mm.
And I just prayed and I said, God, really help me to be able to remember what it is that you're giving me. I don't want to
Yes.
lose this. I don't want to be deceived ever again. So he dropped this thing, and I don't know exactly when, excuse me, or why,
Mm.
but he gave me this ability with acronyms. and they just started flowing. I would just look at a word and I would pray and I say, God, what are you really trying to say here?
Yes.
What are you really trying to say? And he would break that thing down in a manner that I could remember it and never forget it. And it made sense. It wasn't like AARP or
No. No,
WRAP.
they make a lot of sense. And the one thing I love about the acronyms is it helped me a lot with the word. And it made so much sense that you can find a way to bring them both together, the word and that acronym.
Yeah.
I mean, it ties itself in together. And then it makes it so much easier for a person that's new to the word that they can actually grasp it like that. So I have been dropping your acronyms all over the place.
I
do.
know.
I use them in my sermons. I use them everywhere I go. And let me tell you, people grab them.
Yeah. It's a handle.
It is a handle.
It's a handle.
Yes, it's a handle.
You know, where when you're drinking your coffee or drinking your drink,
Yes.
you got to have a handle. And I think that these things that God has given are handles for us for life. And there in this book, there are 52 acronyms.
Yes.
And you can get it by going to our website. You can get it there, wordfs.com. You can also get it on Amazon.
Yes.
But you need to pick this up.
Yes.
And it's not a novel.
Nope, it's not a novel at all. It's a one-pager. And I call them spiritual jolts with a punch. That's exactly how I see them because they make so much sense to you once you do that. I mean, and then you know what? The fear of actually dealing with the Bible does not hurt you because he
Right.
also helps us go deeper into that. You'll go look for mind. I mean, and mind is one of my favorites.
Yes.
I use it quite often, and I use gift.
Yes.
Because those are the greatest things that you could ever think about. A gift? That's me?
Yeah,
I'm
you are-
God's
you are-
instrument for
Yeah,
transformation.
you are a gift.
I'm a gift.
Yeah.
And so that's what's so exciting about these words. And so, yes, I use them and I even push them out there. They're in the airwaves. They're out
It's
there.
okay. It's okay
There.
because what God gives is to be given.
That's true.
You know, and so we encourage you to use them. But the book is called A Word Fitly Spoken.
Yes.
It's the rest of the scripture says a word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in a setting of silver. And that's Proverbs 25 and 11. So it's a tailor-made word.
Yeah.
No matter where you go, where you are in life, you can open up this book
Yes.
just arbitrarily and something in here that's going to speak to you. It's going to give you, I call them devotional with a jab.
Yes.
It's a devotional, but just when you think it's like real smooth, it
Yes,
just
yes.
hits you right
It's
between.
a mad punch. That's what it is. He talking about it just hits you. It's a punch because it just comes to you just like that, and you're like, "Woo, wait a minute." Now, I'll tell you this, that I do carry that book around. And I carry that book around, one, because I need it all the time. There's always somebody that you're going to encounter that needs a word.
Right.
I can give you a word. You know, if somebody's down and they said, you know, I'm just not worth all that. I'm like, shoot, yes, you are. You are a gift from God.
Yeah,
What are you saying?
yeah.
He woke you up this morning.
And they
So,
can walk away with that word
That's it.
without the story, just that
yeah,
word.
just the word.
I'm a gift.
I'm a
Wow.
gift.
God's instrument for transformation. I am wired
Yes.
to make an impact in
That's right.
somebody else's life.
That's what we're supposed to be doing is being wired. And I mean, you've pushed that a lot into me too. And I'm so grateful. You have no idea how grateful I am that you pushed me and made me real.
wasn't
Yeah,
pushing.
you did push. You know,
I
you
was-
pushed. I believe you were praying in the spirit
The-
about me. I really do believe that. You're saying, Lord, don't let her do that. You know, let her do this. Move her that way. I believe that.
I thought I was. No, it was a push.
It was a push.
What about an angel? I could have been an angel.
You could have been an angel, but it was a push. I don't care what you say about that. So Doc, we got this book going on, right? And book 2 is actually on the horizon.
Yes, it is.
Is right, and we're
Yes.
in the process.
Yes.
The template is laid out.
Okay. Yes, I know.
Just waiting for that great stuff because there's so many more. You guys, I think he can't stop anymore. I believe that this stuff is going to continue to keep flowing out of his mouth, and then pretty soon we'll be getting it into everyone's hands.
Yes.
Because everybody needs it. I mean, You can get healed just by reading it.
My
you know.
wife told me that we have almost 300 acronyms.
300? Wow.
We have almost 300 because uh, it continues to flow.
Yes.
It continues to flow, and I can tell now when God is about to download something to me.
Oh.
I can tell
So
there's a
is there a shift?
no, the heavens don't shake and the clouds don't come. It's just it's like um, the word won't leave me,
Ah, okay.
and I just start thinking about it and thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, what's gonna, all right, something is about to be revealed
That's
here,
right.
and I just continue to pray and say, Lord, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? And it can be not just a scripture, but it could be a word
That's right.
in life, in a
Yes.
situation that we're dealing
That's
with.
needed at that time.
Yeah, and it just unfolds, and I have to. I don't always have a pen. I try to have a pen, but if I don't, I'll call Julian and say, "Write this down," or I'll call you, say,
Yeah.
"Write this down, please."
I'm not sure why you won't use your phone and record it.
I'm just,
Just record it. Although I'm glad that you do tell us to write it down because then I can use it once you give it to me.
and I
it's
got
out there.
stuff. We just moved, and so
Yes.
I'm unpacking Bibles and notebooks, and I'm finding stuff. I'm like, did I really say that?
Are you finding more
Yes.
acronyms that you had in the other Bibles?
Yes, because I'll jot it down
Yeah.
real quick, and I'm like, I forgot that. Now, who does not forget is
Is
Julie.
Julene, yes.
Yeah, she does not forget.
No, she knows a lot.
And I'm like,
I've noticed that.
did I say that?
Yeah, I noticed that.
Well, yes, you did. I didn't
Be
say
very
it.
careful what you say.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause
So
she'll remember.
yes,
That's what she does.
It's a blessing. It really is a blessing.
So I gotta say too, Doc, that there was a purpose for me and you meeting, and I believe it was partly my growth. I believe it was what we're getting ready to do in the future. I believe it's what we're doing right now. I believe that people need to see that kind of power between a group of people, of like-minded nature.
Yes.
So that purpose is really important. So I wanted to just define, because I think people need to understand what purpose is.
Okay. Yes.
So here's the definition. It says the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists.
The reason for something is done.
Yes.
And or created.
Or for which something exists.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the natural definition of it. But the King James Dictionary states it like this. This is what I really like, and I think you'll get this. It said, it is that which a person sets before himself as an object to be reached or accomplished.
Okay.
The end or aim at which the view is directed in any plan, measure, or exertion. I said, okay, I get what the King James was talking about.
Say that again.
Yes, let me say that one more time because this is really interesting. The King James Dictionary, if you don't have one, please go ahead and get it. But it says it just like this. This is what purpose is. It is that which a person sets before himself, an object to be reached or accomplished. So that means I'm putting myself out there to be reached or accomplished, right? And the end or the aim at which that view is directed in any plan, measure, or exertion.
Okay.
That's something.
Yeah.
So, man, if people don't understand, there's a purpose for you.
Yes. Yes. There is a purpose for you. You're here with a purpose.
Yes.
And without knowing that,
Yeah.
you know what I say, that if you don't know the purpose of a thing,
That's right.
then you're bound to misuse it and abuse it.
I remember that.
And that's a sad commentary when you don't realize the purpose of a thing, and you don't realize your purpose, then you're bound to misuse and abuse your life.
That's right.
And that's going to be a tragic revelation at the end of the day.
It really is. I mean, and there's a plan for each one of us. There's a plan that we need to take, and there's a purpose for that plan. And I believe that we need to really start figuring that out and thinking about, what am I here for?
Years ago, I don't know how, but I just reverence. I think I came, again, I think I had been so deceived that I came to the knowledge of the truth, and I was with some elders. I was with them and I would just hush. Whenever
Ah,
I got around them,
well, yeah.
I would just be quiet because I just wanted to, I
You
didn't want
want
to
to
be
listen.
deceived. I didn't want to be in the dark.
Ah,
And so I would just listen, and I will never forget. I was in the back seat of their car, and we were going somewhere, and they said that that I beseech you, therefore, brother, and by the mercies
mercy
of
of
God,
God.
that you present your
Present
body
yourself as a
living
living
sacrifice.
sacrifice,
And then
holy
it
and
said
acceptable.
that you might prove what
What
is
is
that good
good?
and
Yes.
perfect will of God.
Mm,
And I said, you mean to tell me that God has a perfect will for my life?
something we don't even think about.
I said, oh my goodness, I need to know what that is. I need to know what that is. And they didn't even know what was going on inside of me. It was exploding inside of me, the fact that God has a perfect will for my life. Forget about what I wanted to do.
That's right.
Forget
Yeah,
about
yeah.
where I
Forget
came
about all that.
from. Forget about what people are telling
That's
me.
right.
Because I was going to be a CPA.
Really?
Yeah,
I
I,
didn't know that.
I was going to be a CPA. I signed up to go to Roosevelt
and
University.
and that didn't happen.
I think that God knew that.
That you didn't want to do that job,
Well, I
or that
did
wasn't
want to
for
do
you.
it. I
Yeah, but
like.
that's because you like what you saw on the
Yes.
surface until you get deep in there.
Yeah.
CPAs, I mean, that's a rough job.
I. I.
That's
I.
a rough job.
I
Not
got.
to all you CPAs out there, though. Hey, good job. Appreciate
I
that.
got A's in accounting and bookkeeping. It was just a natural, but he dropped that word on me that you might prove what is that good,
Good.
acceptable, and perfect
Perfect will.
will. And I just got into a pursuit of prayer of Lord, what is the perfect will of
For
God
me.
for my life?
Yeah.
And it was funny because I got saved off the street and there was like 17, 18 young men, and I was the only teacher in the bunch.
Really?
All of them was
Now,
preachers.
I don't remember that part. Yeah, I
They
didn't
were,
realize that you. So they
oh,
were all preachers, and you were the only teacher.
yes.
I don't know. I've seen you preach though.
I
I
I
think you
was
were a preacher too. You
I
might have had two gifts.
I was like, really? I could never do that. But
Well, you need to see him now. That's
I would teach a lesson. We were supposed to be out witnessing the people, and I'm teaching on Revelations. You don't do that.
well. I mean, not. I wouldn't start there. Yeah,
I,
I wouldn't start at Revelation.
but I found out my perfect will, the
Yeah, that's
perfect
true.
will of God.
That's true.
And so how many of us even ask that question?
I don't know if we want to know.
Yeah.
Because see, then I'd have to stop doing what I'm doing and walk in the perfect will. Because once I come to the knowing of it, right,
That's an issue,
that's an issue. Because
and
see,
you're going to be held
you're
responsible.
going to be held responsible for it. And so that's not cool. I just want to
well.
let you know about that. That's not
Romans
cool.
12, 1 and 2, it says that right there.
Yes. Well, you know what, Doc, I was talking to you and I was thinking about purpose and what is our purpose today? You know, why are we here?
Yeah.
You know, why did God wake us up again today? I'm grateful for it. I've lost family members and stuff, and
We've all lost a lot
I mean,
last year.
Yeah, well, this year I just lost one last week.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm thinking she's younger than me, but I said, you know, had she found her purpose, would she have been in that situation? And I was concerned about that because I know she didn't find it.
Wow.
It wasn't there, but I found mine, and so now I have no choice but to do what I need to do with my life.
Purpose will drive you.
Yes.
It will make you want to get up in the morning.
That's right.
You know, it puts a bounce in your step. It puts a glide in
Yeah,
your stride. It just says like, yes, I
Yes,
know.
I know.
This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's kind of, remember what we were talking about with gift and talent. When a gift is prevalent,
Yeah.
it blesses you when you
Yes,
do it,
that's right.
and it blesses
Blesses
others. And they have the nerve to come to you
That's
and
right.
tell you, you know, you really blessed me with
That's right.
that. And then when you're doing that, when you are in your purpose, it blesses you when you
Yeah.
do it.
Yep.
It
It
blesses
blesses others.
others,
That's right.
and you sense a smile
Mm.
from God.
Amen.
You sense a smile from God that just says, "Well done," and that's that. There's just no price tag for that.
What about the contrary to that?
Yeah, it's a
We need to talk about that though.
struggle.
It's a struggle, right? I mean, if you're not trying to even understand your purpose, the contrary is also there.
Yeah, it's the left hand trying to
Trying to
be the
yes, the
right
right
hand,
hand.
and or the left foot trying to
Yeah.
be the right
And you
hand.
ever seen anybody walk with
No, that's
this
a mess.
going the other?
That's
Yeah, it was a little difficult to
that's
do.
not gonna work.
So we have to be very careful about understanding what your true purpose is. Now, some of us want to live our lives the way they normally do. But sometimes God is pushing and you know stuff is just hitting you in the head and you're
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get there.
It's God is more concerned about you receiving knowledge
That's right.
of your purpose than you will ever be,
That's right.
because it's bigger than you and me. There are people that you are responsible for reaching, and if you don't recognize that,
That's the
then
key.
yeah, there are people that are waiting on
Waiting
you
on you.
to say yes to the will of God for your life, so that they could get what they need.
From you.
And I used to tell people that when I saw, because I would pray for people, and when you're praying for them,
Yep.
you're interceding for
Interceding,
them.
that's right.
And so, Dr. Mill, a lot of people don't realize that when you're praying for someone and you're interceding for them, God may speak to you first,
That's right.
because you're closer to God on their behalf than
right.
they are.
That's right.
And so God speaks to you and tells you this is what she's supposed to be doing. Maybe that's what I'm finding out. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe. I'm not
Hey,
really sure.
trust me.
But the point that I'm trying to make is that if you are not where you need to be,
That's right.
and God has something for me from you,
Right. It's not going to get to you.
right?
And that's not fair to the
I'm-
average
that's
person.
personal.
No, it's extremely personal because you're stopping the blessing of someone else. And even the unction, you're stopping it because you're not doing your part. That's a little scary.
And I got upset behind that. I would look at people and like,
You, why you robbing me? Pretty
Yes.
much. Yeah, you're robbing me.
you need to get where you're supposed to be.
That's right.
So that I can get what I'm supposed to get from this.
That's right.
And people don't realize that there's if you don't want to get to heaven, and the panoramic screen comes up, and it shows the widescreen, and it shows all the people that you were supposed to impact. All
Just had
the
a
people.
bad flashback in my head.
all
Flash. That's not good, Doc. I mean, whew. Just
that you're supposed to impact.
everybody.
You had
you on your mind. That's
Yeah.
what they had.
and so people were lost and left without because of your selfishness. And that's not going to fly. That's not going to work. And you don't want people to suffer.
No, you
Like Jonah did. Just no, I don't
Jonah,
want to go.
we're talking about Jonah.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Let them all
mess
go to
with
hell.
Jonah. Yeah, he didn't care
He didn't.
because he was selfish. Like you said, he was caring about himself, and all he wanted to do was his own thing.
And
He
then-
didn't want to do what was pushed on him to. Well, not even pushed. I'm not going
No,
to say
it was
pushed.
his
It was his
purpose.
purpose. He needed to do that, and he did not want to because of his own selfish need. That's a little scary because I believe that there are many people out there like that choose to reverence themselves.
I'm not going to talk too much, but I have children in the Lord as well as in the natural that you can see the hand of God on them. And they like, no,
I ain't ready for
no,
that.
I don't think so.
That was me.
I'm
I
like,
was that way a long time ago. I really was. I was walking. I'm like, that is not me. And I was getting the tug. It was there, and I saw it. I had a few people just speaking into my life, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. Of course, you know, God said otherwise, but I also had to surrender.
but the problem is that at some juncture, God always gets his man.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
always gets his woman.
One way or the other.
Yeah, and you don't want to come
No.
beat up and wounded and
Yeah.
limping in the process, because he will come after you.
Yeah, yeah. If you read my book, you'd see he came after me. That was for sure. He definitely came after me because my bumps truly had a purpose, and I did not realize that it did. I mean, I'm grateful though.
Yeah,
I am really grateful that I was pushed in this way. But you know what? Not everybody's as strong as Dr. Mel either. Because Dr. Mel walked around like nothing was happening, but it was.
yeah.
And so, how in the world? There's many people that cannot survive that. Why try that? Why do you think they want to try that?
I'm not really sure, but it's not a good advice.
I
It's
call
not.
it borderline psychotic.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
not.
think that was me at one point. I was kind of borderline psychotic. I said, no, I'm just going to go ahead and just walk around and do what I got to do. And that's what I'll do. And could have died in any situation. I could have done that, but I didn't. And I was very glad about that.
Yeah,
So, Doc, I'm so glad that you came over here, and I'm honored. You have no idea. I'm so honored to be your friend, your coworker, your business partner. I don't know what else.
co-host.
Well, co-host. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're doing a lot of stuff together. So, but you're a friend, and I'm glad about that. And I thank you for everything you are pushing in me. That's for sure.
It is. I'm trying not to use another acronym. It's a coach.
Use it anyway.
Yeah, it's a coach.
Coach, you can give him that one.
A coach is one that cultivates optimism and
And
conquers hypocrisy.
Love it, love it,
Let
love it.
me explain, because you're a coach.
We got about 1 minute. Though.
Yeah, you're
I am a coach.
a coach. They cultivate optimism, and then they have to deal with you that say, "I can't do this." The coach sees that you
He
can do
sees
that,
your ability. Yes.
and yet you, as the boxer, the runner, the player, you're going to come and hypocritically say, "I
I
can't."
can't. When we already see the potential. That's the one thing I did. I pushed those girls. I pushed those boys, and I'm watching them today on Facebook and everywhere. They're out there spreading the word.
Yeah,
And they're
awesome.
spreading the word. So it looks like we're running out of time here. So, Doc, I want to say thank you
You're
again
welcome.
for
Thank you.
everything, and I'm just honored to be your friend. I really am. And remember, you guys, your purpose matters. You have to find what that is, though. However, don't walk away. Walk towards God. We'll see you soon, though. Have a good night.
God bless you.